Welcome to this lesson, and we are going to take it from where we got to with some lesson 2. Right? So we get into it. To start, and I'll go into create as my new document in here. So create new. Then I'll go with my saved. Then I'll go for this one here. Then create it. All right. So now I have this created over here. Right. So the other time, yes, you got to, that's your crop tool, your crop tool. Then I talked about the crop tool, right? But I'll talk about it again. Then you move on to the other tools as well. So the crop tool, as the name goes, it's used for cropping. Right? This is used for cropping. So having the crop tool, once you select it, it gives you some crop marks over here. It gives you some crop marks over here. So you can see this side. Once you position the cursor also, you see it changes. Once I position it here, it changes. Yeah. And then you have this this option here. This is very important in here. That is delete cropped pixels. That means this here, and then so once you position it here also, you can see this sign of you can click and drag. That is to draw the portion where you want to select. So once you do this, this is the page, this is the size of the page. Now if you don't have this one checked, if you don't have this one checked, that means once you crop it, this part, this side here is dark at the moment, it's still going to be there. That part is still going to be there. It's not going to be deleted. But once you check this delete cropped pixels, that means once you go with that, that part is going to be deleted and you're not going to see that. So let me uncheck this first and then we see what we are talking about. So I click on this and then but now I can go with my move tool and then you can see like the handles in here, and that's the control handles in here. That means this is the actual size of it, but because I cropped it and then I didn't delete the crop marks, I still have it, which I can move. That's okay. So let me undo it. That's with Control Z, and Control Z again goes back to have it. Now I go with my crop again, and then I will draw to have my crop marks. Right. Once you draw to have your crop marks, you can also use the handles to resize it, or you can do it from the corners. Right. So I have this in here. Now this, I'm going to check delete crop marks. So once I go with this and then I commit it in here. Now if I go with my move tool, I don't have anything. I can't move it. Yes. And then if I go into my layers also, you can see that that's the background. Right. So that's the difference between you checking delete crop pixels and then you not checking delete crop pixels. Yeah. So that's for cropping. The next thing there is you have the perspective crop tool. So this is for cropping perspective images or perspective objects in here. That is to make it straight or to straighten them. So with dealing with this here, I'll go for some images that I downloaded. Right, so let me go to my downloads. Okay. All right, I have this here, and then I'll go for this as well. So let me drop the two that is on the tab, right? The tab, so that I want to open them in as new documents. So I drop them here, and then they are not going to open here, but they are going to open as new documents. So I have this here, then I have this. So that's to go with the perspective crop. Now I go right click in here, go for the perspective crop tool. Once I go with this, now I can have my perspective crop. So I'll start from here, click down here to click down here. I move to click here. I move up here also to click. And then once I'm done, I just have to come up here and then the check mark, I have to commit it. So I click on this, then I commit it, and then it has straightened that for us. This is how you straightened it for us. So once you look at it, you can see it. Well, I can do it for this side as well. So I come with this, come to this point, straight here, then come here to click, and then I click on the check mark to commit it, and then I have my perspective crop right here. So I click that, and then I have it cropped perspectively. So I have my perspective crop here, as you can see. Right. So this one looks bigger than the other one. So let me undo, going for the other one also. So yes, this also in here. Right. So I can go with my perspective crop here. So perspective crop, I'm going to do it for, okay, let me do it for this side. So I start with this point here, come to click here, down to this side. Then I come back to this point. Then I click on the check mark. All right, so I have it being straightened in here. So this is what the perspective crop tool, this is what it does. Right. Okay. The next thing here is the slice tool, right? And then the slice select tool. So the slice tool and then the slice select tool. Those who are following the Illustrator lessons, like you know, you see that yes, you have worked on the slice tool. I talked about the slice tool in Illustrator, and then nothing changes in here. It's the same thing. But here comes the case you're not in Illustrator, we are in Photoshop. So I still have to talk about that. So let me go into my untitled page. Then I go for the slice tool. Now before I use the slice tool, let me go in for my shape in here. That is my rectangle tool. Then draw this here, and then draw this also here. So once I have that, now I can go into right click here and then go for the slice tool. So the slice tool, I'll make a slice here, right? And then I'll come here also, make another slice here. Now someone will ask that, what are those slices for? Now the slice tool, what it works, or the slice tool and then the slice tool, what we use this for is, let's say you are working on an image which you want to have on your website, and you want to have the image on your website and then you want it to be clickable. That means if you have this using the slice and then you save as a web legacy, you can, the slice or the image can be clickable. When you click it, it can lead you to a site. Right? It can lead you to a site. So this here, let me go to, so once I've made the slices in here, the next one is the slice select, to which I can select the slice and then move it somewhere else. So this is the slice that I made around the shape, or I can move this one also somewhere else. So let me undo. And that's the slice select tool for selecting slices. Now I move on to the file, and I go to export, and then I'll export for web. Export for web because I use the slice and then the slice select tool or the slice tool. I go with select from export for web, I will save for web, then it gives me this. So this in here, right? If I want to make it clickable, I just have to double click on this, and it brings me this in here. So the slice type is image. You can make it no image. I'll go with image because I want it to be image. You can give it a name in here. That is any name, right? I give it a in here. Now this is the most important thing. The most important thing, that's the URL address in here. So if I want this to be linked or to open a site for me, then let me go on to the browser. Let me open this. And then I want to copy any address in here. So any site address in here, then I'll use that in there. So once I insert that in there and then I click, I'm going to have that site open for me here. Okay. Let me just copy this one here. So I highlight this, right click, and then I'll copy this here. Let's go. Okay, so let me leave this one. I'll come back to it. All right, so I have that. So I have it copied. So this I'm going to paste in here. All right, so I have it pasted here. And then the target. Now the target is sometimes when you click on something on the site, right? When you click on something on the site, it can be that it will open on that same site, or sometimes it opens a new tab for you. That's what the target is, right? So the target, I want it to, if I want it to open in a new tab, Right? If I wanted to open in a new tab, then I can go with a target as in blank. So I go with underscore okay, that's underscore blank. Right, so then my caps lock on. Then I go with blank. Right. Yes, and then the message, you can put any message in there, I can put any alternative text in there, but I'm not going to do that. Right, that's to save our time. So I have this, I just click on OK. Once I click on OK, yes, I have this one set in here. I can also go with this, double click, and then do the same thing for this one as well. But yes, I'm going to leave this one. So let me cancel this. So once I'm done, yes, I just want to see how this is going to perform on the web. So I'll just go with preview to preview what I'll get. So yes, I do it, and then it opens this image for me. So you see, once I move the cursor here, it's still giving me my normal cursor. But if I move here, it changes into the hand. That means there is a link. And that's because of what I did in Photoshop. So what I have to do is, when I come in here and then I click on this, it's going to open that new tab, and then it's going to take me to that site. Okay. So you can be working on an image, that's your normal image, and then you can use the slides tool in there. You make it clickable, and then it can lead you to a site. When you click it, it will lead you somewhere. Right. Okay. So the network, the internet is slow, but still loading. Right. Alright, so yes, you have it opened in here, right? You have it opened in here. So that's what I copied and then pasted in there. So you see that it was some Microsoft Edge, but this here, the browser is as Firefox Developer Edition. So we have it. So that's how the slides, right? That's how it works. So this, I'm not going to save it. I just used it for demonstration. So let me cancel this. Right, then we move on to the next thing. So here, let me go for my move tool, and then if I want to do multiple selections also, I can just click and drag, right, lose multiple selection. Once it touches the object, it will select multiple, and then I hit on my delete, and then I can delete them. Right, so let me go for my slide select tool and then delete these slices also. Select it and delete, select, I hit on my delete key, then I have it. Next in here, I have this tool in here, that's the frame tool. The frame tool, once I select this frame tool, I can click and drag to draw a frame, and then this frame here, I can place a picture in this frame. So I go in with this here, go for any image here, so I click and drag this image, and then yes, it goes into the frame. So with this, I can resize this image holding down alt, right, and then you see it, right, it's fitting into, or it's going into the frame. So I can have this way and then position it. So once I position it and then I click on the check mark or I hit enter, then I'm going to have it in there. So I click outside, come to click on it again, and then now I have the frame selected. So I can move the frame, right, anywhere that I want. Right. So that's what the frame tool does. The next one, so let me delete this. The next tool, or the next tools in there, we have the eyedropper tool, the 3D material eyedropper. With this one, is you skip it for this lesson because it's a 3D material eyedropper. This one, we move on to the 3D workspace, as you are going to look at the 3D material eyedropper. So on this essentials, this we are using essentials. So essentials, we are going to skip that because there is no way the 3D material eyedropper is going to work in here. So we have the color sampler tool, that's for sampling colors. We have the ruler tool, that's for taking measurements. The notes tool also for inserting notes, and then we have the count tool for counting. Yeah. So moving to it, we're going to look at the eyedropper tool. Now the eyedropper tool is used to sample colors. And then anytime you sample a color, the color goes onto the foreground color, right? Yes, and at the start, I talked about these two colors. You have the foreground, this is the foreground color, this is the background color. The shortcut for applying this as the foreground color is Alt and Backspace. Alt and Backspace. And then the shortcut for applying the background color, that is Control and then Backspace, right? So if you think you might forget, you can just get a small note or a small pen and then you note it down somewhere, because sometimes working with shortcuts, it's very good and quick. So right, this right, that's the eyedropper. Once I click on this part here, you see I click on this white area and then the color has changed to white. That's the foreground color. If I click in here, the color changes to this color, right? So it's only on your stage or your pasteboard, that's where you can pick colors. Aside that, you can't pick colors anywhere else. Let me drop an image here and then I can pick colors from the image. So I drop this image. Okay, then with the eyedropper, right, I pick this and then it goes here, right? I click this in here and then it goes there, right? If you want to save or have many colors, right? If you want to have many colors down, that is when you go in for the color sampler tool, right? The color sampler tool, but you get there. So this here, anywhere I click, right, it comes in here. So I click on this and I have that here. So should in case I have this shape here, and then I want it to pick, or I want to give it this color, I can go for the eyedropper tool here, and then the shortcut is I. So go for the eyedropper tool here, I pick it, then I come to select the shape, and then I can use it because it's my foreground color. I go with my Alt and then the backspace, and then it applies the color. I can go with my Control backspace, and then the color will be applied. That's the foreground or the background color. So Alt and backspace is going to give me the pink, that's the foreground color, and then the Control backspace is going to give me this one here, that's the background color. All right. Next, we have the 3D, yes, which I said we are going to skip that one. So we have the color sampler tool, right? The color sampler tool, we use it to sample colors. So we can sample, I think, up to 10 colors, right? Which you can use them later on in your work. So having this in here, I'll go with the color sampler tool. Now the color sampler tool works with a panel which we call the info panel, right? The info panel. So once I pick a color, you see that the info panel will be open for me right here on our right hand side, right, where we have our panels. So I come to click on this in here, and then once I click here, right, you see I have this open in here. So this is the color that I sampled, right? That is RGB. So the R is giving me 215, the G is giving me 205, and then the B is giving me 229. Someone who is new to this will ask that how do I apply these colors, or how do I use these colors? Yes, you are going to get there and then we use them. So I come here to pick this one also, and then this color also goes in here. So I have the RGB, that's giving me 24757 and then 205. I can pick another color from here and then another color from here. So now I'm going with only these 4 colors, right? So we say I can have one, I picked one from here, 2 from here, 3, and then 4 from here. So right, if I want to apply this color 1, or yes, 1 to this image in here, right? Or let me just go with this one here. So I double click on this and then it opens the color picker for me. Or if it's a shape, you go into your layers panel and then you double click on the shape, it's going to give you that same thing as the color picker, right? But this one, once you change, it will change this straight away for you. So let me cancel this, or okay, let me go with that. So double click in here and then I have it open for me in here. So let me hide this for now. So I'm going to use this color 1. Right, this is the first one that I sampled. So how do we do it? That is down here we can see RGB. So we just have to enter the values that you're having here respectively in here, and then we are going to get that color that we sampled, right, from 1. So with this here, we have the R to be 2. So yes, R is in here 2. Okay, that's the color which is there already. That's this color. So let me go in for a different one. So let me go with the 2. Okay, this also pick that same color. Oh, okay, that is when I mistakenly clicked in here. So okay, I'll go with these ones here. So we have the R to be 223, the J to be 237, and then the B to be 240. So with this RGB, I just enter those colors respectively. So 223 here, and then you can see the color is changing. So the J here is 237. So I do that also, 237. Then the B here is 240. So I come in here to 240. Now it gives me the color that I sampled. So I just click on OK, and then the color has been applied. So yes, I sampled that color from here. I sampled that from here. So let me go in with the color sampler too, and then you can see 3 as that's the third color which I sampled. So I have it here. So that's how the color sampler 2 works in here. That's the sample colors. And then the next one in here, we have the ruler tool. The ruler tool is for taking measurement. So if I want to measure from this point down to this side, I just have to click and drag. And then if I want it to be in a straight line, I just hold on my shift key. Right, I hold down shift key, then I move it in a straight line. So once I do it, that is also going to give me in the info panel. So once I have that, it comes down to this point. So this is the width and then the height. So we see it's a straight line, so it has no height. That is, the height is 0. The width is 827 pixels in here. Or I can just go with it diagonally like this. And once I have it in here, that also gives me, so you see with this, it's going diagonal. So it has a height of 732 and then the width of 752. Right. All right. So that is the ruler tool for taking measurement. Then the next we have the notes tool. The notes tool also is for taking notes. So the color of the notes is once I click, it's yellow. That's the color in here. I can change it to a different color. Let's go in for red and then okay. So the note tool turns into red. Once I click on this, or let me undo and then have the first note. So once you click on the notes tool, it also gives you the notes panel in here. So you can put any note in here. So I just type anything in here. Now with this, right, someone will ask that what's the use of this? Maybe when working on this file or working on an image or let's say a design, after you are done working on it, maybe you might send it to your partner or someone else to add something to it or to edit it. So with this, you can add the notes. Maybe once you add the notes in here, you can even have it inserted in here that change this image, change this image. So once the person picks up the design to work with, and then he sees the notes, he will read, and then he will know that yes, you are trying to tell him or her to change this image. You can go with another click in here, and then that also, I can just insert anything in here that is your notes in there. Anytime you want to delete a note also, you can just come in here and then delete it with the trash can here. So okay, then I come to hit on this also, and then yes, and then I have the notes deleted. And then the next one in there, that's the count tool. The count tool, that one is just for counting. It's just for counting. So I click in here, right, and then I see my count over there. So the colors, let me undo the color here. I'll change the color to black so that I can see it all. So okay, then once I click, yes, I have the count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So I have the council, and then this doesn't come with any panel as the note, right, and then the color sampler or the ruler. The next tools in here, yes, you have the spot healing brush, the healing brush tool, the patch tool, the content array move tool, and then the red eye tool. We are going to work with this. So first is the spot healing brush. As the name goes, this is for healing spots, right? For healing spot. So let me close this here, close this also, then open some images like that. So okay, so I have these three images. So let me open these three images and then drop them here. All right, so having this here, we have the spot healing brush. So I right click in here, the spot healing brush, I have it here. Then I can use the spot healing brush to heal these spots in here. So this, we have this here. I'll come in with this. If the hardness, right, is set to maybe anywhere above 20, we can just move it back to 0. That is the most important one. If I move it to 100, it's going to give me some hardness or some hard edges, right, once I clear it. So let me undo, and then I'll go with hardness to 0 so that it can really blend with the skin. So once I click on any spots in here, I think the hardness has gone down too much also. So let me bring it, let's say 23, and then I come in here to click, right, and then it clears the spots in there, or it heals the spots in there. So that's why we call it the spot healing brush. So I come to click on this part also, and then I have it, right, and then you can also increase the size of it. So I increase the size in here, and once I come here, I see the size being increased in here. Or you use the square brackets in your on your keyboard to do. So square bracket open or square bracket close, and then the square bracket I'm talking about, let's look in here. That's this one right here. So use this to increase it, or this one here to decrease it. So the square brackets close to increase the size of the brush, and then the square brackets open to decrease the size, right, of the spot healing brush. So I can come in here and then keep on clicking to heal the spot. Right. Okay. So that's why sometimes some people will take pictures, right, with spots, dark spots on their faces, but by the time the pictures come out, or the pictures come out from the photographer, then you realize everything has been cleared in there. So it's that simple with the spot healing brush. Let me go in with this image, the size small. Okay. Then this also, I'm going with we have the healing brush tool. The healing brush tool, or let me go with this same one. Let me undo and then have them in here, everything back. So with the healing brush tool, how this one also works, it works like the sports healing brush, but with the healing brush tool, you have to select pixels, right? So you have to select a portion. So if I want to maybe fill this part, clear this, you can decide to fill it with a portion of the cheek over here. And then to do that, you have to hold on the Alt key. So once you hold on the Alt key, you see this. So once you get this, you just have to click. And then after you click, you release. And once you move in here, you see that it will move that pixel to this point. So you just click in here, and then it covers that. So I come in here, Alt, I click, then down in here, come to click, and then covers that. I move in here to click, right? And then anytime you click also, you can see there is a plus sign, right? A plus sign comes somewhere. So we check the plus sign, right? That means that is where it's picking the pixels from. So anytime you click, I check the plus sign, and then you see that's where it's picking the pixels from. So Alt, I want to pick it from here. So click, and then use that. Then it fills that. So Alt, come to click in here, then click. Then I move it there, Alt to click this point, move down here, and then I cover that part. So that's how the healing brush tool works. So with the sports healing brush, you just have to click. But with the healing brush tool, you have to select some portion or some pixels and then use that. The next one here, we have the patch tool. The patch tool. The patch tool also, you just have to load a selection and then move it to a destination to have it patched. So with this in here, I can select this, the eyebrow here, and then move it somewhere here. And then once I release this, I'm going to have that moved in here. Right. I can select this and then move it somewhere else, right? And then that, so the patch tool also, we can use it to clear or to heal the spots in here. So click, load the selection around it, and then I drag to a destination. So I move this to a destination and then have this here to a destination. Right. So just select it and then move it somewhere else. Okay. So it's just a matter of time. You just have to be doing that. And then you have to do it carefully. Like take care of your movement. Like drag them to good locations, then you will have what you are looking for. Right. So you just load the selection and then you move. So that one is the patch tool. Right? You guys click in here, and then that is here the patch tool. Right? The patch tool. So yes, once you are done, maybe in case this is my final one in here. Once I'm done, this record this a selection. I don't have to leave the selection in here. I can deselect it by using the shortcut Control D or going to select menu and then here deselect. Once I do that, yes, the selection goes away and there. Then you have what you are looking for. Right. And then with this same patch tool, let me get a different image and then have demonstrate something else to you. There is one image which I used. Am I even going to get that? Am I even going to get that? I'm not getting the image, any image like that in here. No, not getting it. Let me check down here if I can get any image on this drive. Okay, I still no image. All right, so let me just use an image which I saw in here. Try that. So let me go to my downloads. Then check for it. Okay, so let me go in for this. Right, so click and drag, and then I'll drop it right on the tab in here, so it opens here for me. So with this, I'm just going to do it little by little, and I just hope to get what I'm looking for. So with this in here, right, with the patch tool, can go in with this. So select this small portion first, then I move it somewhere here. All right, so I come with this portion also, then I move it somewhere here. Right, nice. Just want to clear everything from here, so I move it. Right, come with this portion, then I move here. Okay, so come with this, then I move this also to this point. Come for this side. I just have to do it little by little so that you catch what you are looking for, because if you do all at once, you're not going to get anything good, or you're not going to get a good outcome. So this, move it here. Going with this also, the top here. Yes, you just have to move it to the portion where you think the pixels will fit. Once it's moved in there, so I move it to this side a little bit. Okay, this comes in here. Right, this to the top. Select this also. Move. Right, select and then drop it here. Okay, select this here, move it up. Then, oh, didn't give me, so let me move it here. Select this whole portion. Oh, it's too big. So let me select again. Then now move everything out of the scene. So position it here. Yes, then now I have this in here. So I have everything cleared in here. So that's the patch tool. This what you can use the patch tool for. Right. This is what you can use the patch tool for. Or sometimes, let's say you need a background, right? You can use the patch tool and then you can clear whatever that you want to clear. Then you have it as your background. And so that's how the patch tool works. The next here, we have the content aware move tool. Right? The content aware move tool. So this content aware move tool, let me go with the same one in here. Then I go with the content aware move tool. So this also you load the selection and then you move it. So I move that one to cover this part. Then okay, right. I come with this. I can move it to cover this part. Right. Then okay. I just click on the check mark and then it moves the content. So that is to swap the contents that you have. So this, let me select this in here and then have it in here. So I move this to this portion. Okay, then okay. Right, then you see that it moves that content to this portion in here and then it fills this with something else. So that's a content array move to. That's a content array. So we move a content from its position to a different position. Okay. So once you have the selection, right, you just go to select and then you deselect it. Then going on with this, and yeah, that's the last tool, right? Last tool, we are going to look at this as the last tool for this lesson. And then the next lesson, we'll continue with the other tools. So with this here, we have the red eye tool. The red eye tool is also for correcting red eye. For this, I don't have any red eye image here. Okay, I don't have any red eye image here, so let me come with that. So let me open a browser and then try to get the red eye, any image which has red eye in there. And the red eye, right, what will let someone get a red eye, right, that's in an image is sometimes when you take an image at night, that's when the light hits the eye, right, it's likely that you will get, you see that effect in here. So let me check red eye. Images. Okay. Okay, so yes, I have something. Let me go with image. And sometimes when downloading an image, you have to make sure you get the quality image. Right? You get the quality image, and then you use that. Uh, this network being slow. Okay, it's even an edited one, but let me go with this one here. So I right click and then I open a new tab. Let me try if I can get anyone. Yes, this gets image is cool. So I right click here, then open this in a new tab. So I'm just going to have that image. So go with this. Go with the kids image. Wow, this is really taking long. Let me right click and then, okay, so I have it. So right click, open a new tab again to download it. So yes, it opens this for me. Let me right click and then save images and then okay. Or let me just even go with this. Right click, save images, and then I go to okay. So I have the image downloaded. So now let me just close the browser, go to my downloads. I should have it there. So in my downloads here, okay, let me move up. So yes, I have the image in here. So I'm going to drop this image, open it as a new, as I drop it on the tab in here. Oh, what is this thing? Oh, all right. So I'll have this in here. The image didn't open. Okay, let me close some of these tabs in here. No, no. Then let me go in with the image and then drop again. So downloads, go for the image, drop in here, yes, and then it opens. So once it opens in here, we go in for right click here, go for the red eye tool. Then you click on this, yes, and then it's going to just clear that for you. Right. So that's the use of the red eye tool. And that's the use of the red eye tool. So you just have to use it to correct those red eye effects in there. Right. So yes, you're ending this lesson here. And then you stay connected for the other lessons. Right. Thank you for watching.